welcome back to Knits, Hooks, and Needle. I'm Ashley. It has been a good long while since I've uploaded a video for my cross stitching. I have been a mix of busy and trying to start all the other videos that I want to have on this channel since it is titled Knits, Hooks, and Needle. So knits for knitting, hooks for crochet, and needle for cross stitch. I am still working on the Bucilla Nostalgia Baseball by Linda Gillum from, I believe that was 1999. And I kind of left off down here most of this while I was gone and not making videos. And I did just a little bit over here today, noticing that I was off by one row over here, didn't fill it in. So I thought, okay, well, I'll have to fill this in today. Either way, though, I think this is off a little bit when it comes to, and I can't really help that. Like, I've done counting, recounting. I'm not quite sure. But like number-wise, you know, the space between here is fine. Yet on the paper, actually, no, wait. No, I do have it correct. Okay, so it was the fact that I had this line here now that I came back after taking a phone call break. I do have it correct, so I'm going to have to ignore this little line here and only pay attention to these. This is why I don't put hard lines on my work. Anyway, that's not how I was going to originally start out this whole thing. I think it has a 39 color count, if I remember correctly, and it's a 2/2 using, well, basically DMC floss, mostly because I could not find out what kind of floss they use. So I just say DMC because they do have an equivalent chart. In fact, recently I had to go buy more threads, which I found on Etsy. The reason why I didn't go to a store is because I couldn't get to one, and you know, shopping online, you don't want to pay a load of money for just a small amount of thread. So I just went to Etsy to get some more thread. Other than that, today I am going to be cross stitching, doing my first stitch with me with talking, because I planned on doing that on Mondays and then having the non-talking on Fridays. I also plan, unless I somehow get thrown off this week for whatever reason, to start doing Tuesdays for, sorry, just threading the needle here, for using Twitch, going live on Twitch, since I can't quite go live on YouTube just yet. So I'll just go with Twitch because I can more easily do it there. Let's see. Okay, cool. I got that. Awesome. Okay, I got all that. I wasn't sure if I was going to need more thread. Okay, so I can take that, put this back on my card. Yeah, I was chatting with my mom this morning because it's her anniversary. So, you know, I had to call and tell her happy anniversary. I'll be calling my stepdad later. He's at work. I don't know if they're going to, I don't know what they do most of the time. I think they just stay home and, you know, whatever. I don't know how it changes the older you get. I'm no longer married, so I wouldn't know. Sorry, I'm trying to, the one thing I hate about these cards is that my thread gets flossed together, like they get tangled, and I don't like it. And I cannot figure out for the life of me why some people like using those rings to put their threads on, because I find it more inconvenient. I would prefer something more kind of maybe like a bobbin. The only problem with that is that you have to, I think it would be better to pre-cut your thread so that when you pull it off, you know, you don't have to guess how much you need. It's already pre-cut. I know everybody has their different ways of doing it. I've also seen, what is it? It's like this plastic board thing where you could put the numbers on there and the threads that you need. I'm gonna have to see if I can find a picture and put it up on the screen to show what I mean. But I've seen them and they look nice. By the way, sorry for this little band-aid here if it gets in the way. I cut my finger pretty good yesterday. Took a couple of layers with it, so it was bleeding pretty good. The stinging has gone down though, so that's good. Let's see, trying to look. That goes over there. Okay. Just making sure I'm reading my chart correctly. But yeah, so I have to wear a bandage over my finger for a bit. Wasn't sure if it was going to hinder me today. Come on. I'm just wondering if I did that correctly. I'm not sure. Let me pull my thing down. I think it's because I'm overthinking. Let's see, so yeah, we have that. So I'm like right here. Okay, I do have it right. Okay, let me get, I moved a bunch of stuff so I don't have like everything in the spot that I had before, because I was using my tripod for other videos, so I had to move everything from over here, especially for the days that I was writing on the blog, which I'm going to put up a link for. I know I need to start doing that. So this one, let me make sure that says 3. I need to move that over just a little bit. Yeah, I do. I need to put another U up here. Okay. See what I mean by I didn't fill in the other side? So I need to, I wish I had the chance to use the app pattern keeper, but could not for the life of me get this pattern to upload after, you know, photocopying it and saving it to the printer or to my computer. It wouldn't take. And the pages were just horrible to look at. Make sure I'm going to count. So 3, 6. Okay, 3. Hold on real quick. I just want to make sure I count this correctly. Let's see, I threw myself off just with that one column. Okay, that's better. I'm going to kind of do the top here real quick. But yeah, so I'm glad to be back stitching. I had to really get my mind reset to go back into knitting and crochet as well. I hadn't done it in a while. We've been focusing on the cross stitch most of the summer. And how was everybody's Labor Day weekend and holiday if you're in America? Mine was not bad. Went over to my mom's for Labor Day. I don't normally celebrate Labor Day. I'm home doing whatever. But, you know, that's kind of a way to celebrate in itself. Anyway, I went over to my mom's. We had barbecue, like a small barbecue, and watched a movie, Incoming, on Netflix. It wasn't bad. I guess some of the critic reviews are that it missed several points on a movie about teenagers. I thought it was fairly decent personally. You know, some of the humor was different, but I don't know. It's been ages since I was a teenager, but I would have to say, I don't know, it seemed fairly reminiscent of the mindset you tend to have going into high school for some people. For me, it was just high school. Okay, let's make our academic career stand out. I wasn't really interested in parties and being popular or anything. I couldn't care less. But yeah, and then, you know, I had to be home at a specific time because that same day I had groceries coming. I wanted to be home when they came. Make sure this isn't good. Sometimes I accidentally lose my thread. And then the rest of the week I had one kid home with me because she didn't have anything going that week. I think I'm going to do this one by one instead of doing the rows the way I am. But yeah, other than that, it wasn't too bad of a weekend. It was just kind of chill, really. And then this past weekend, I went to go see the new Beetlejuice with the kids. That was real fun. You know, because the movie came out when I was younger. I'm not sure how old I was when it came out. I was trying to forget certain things, so I won't exactly remember. Make sure that's correct. Let's see. So 2 here. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Just making sure. It was fun seeing all the characters back together again, other than the one that played the dad. There is a good reason why he's not in the movie, and I wonder if it confused anyone as to why they made a clay animation of that character. Well, he can't be in the film for a good reason, and I'm not going to really state that here on this channel. But if you Google the actor, you will find out why he's not in the film. It's a really good reason. As for Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, well, for one, there's really no point. Let's see, 1, 2, I think I'll go this way. Gotta tie that off. I started doing the loop start and loop end for my work. I just want to do it so I don't have so much thread being used. By the way, if you need to, grab yourself a drink, keep hydrated while you're stitching along. Yeah, so aside from there not really being a point to bring them back, plus, you know, I don't think ghosts necessarily age, though I do know of one ghost story that's actually quite interesting. And not to deviate from talking about Beetlejuice, I'll finish that and then talk about the interesting ghost story I happen to know. Other than that, there just wasn't any point to bring them back. You know, if it had been like maybe 5 years later, I could see that working. But, you know, when it's been, I don't know. I want to say it's been 20 years. No, it can't be 20 years. I can't. No, that's not right. Oh gosh, it's just been so long that, you know, there's no point. It's been too long. See, I lost my thread already. But it was great seeing all the actors come back. I think my favorite moment was where Lydia is talking with her stepmom about being a parent. Because, you know, as they say, sometimes you won't understand until you have a kid. And it's very true, you know, being a mom of 3. There's definitely things I've learned of being a parent that my mom told me about when I was younger. But that was my favorite moment. They were standing on the porch just chatting about being a mother. And, you know, Lydia's like, well, I never hated you. And it was just a real nice bonding moment. I think it was rather significant to talk about because granted, there's movies that talk about, you know, being how hard it is to be the step parent, but sometimes you don't often get to hear the adult child talk about, you know, hey, I never hated you or anything, unless there really is a case for that. It's just one of my favorite moments, and plus the look on, I'm sorry if I forget names, I'm actually kind of horrible at it now, but the one playing her stepmom, you know, she had this look of just thoughtfulness while she was looking out over the lawn and stuff, and it was just, that was probably my favorite moment. And then, of course, Bob. I'm not going to give away any information on that. Bob. So, on with the ghost story. So, a relative of mine, when they were young, I'm not sure how old, I'd have to ask them, but they were just really little, and they were telling about this story where I should have done that one by one, that's okay. They were talking about a story where another relative that they never met, as far as I'm aware, unless I'm wrong about that. Sorry, my voice is going hoarse on me a little. Came to visit them. I'm not really exactly sure why, but they did. And they said that as they were talking to them, they got younger. So my thought is, even though in movies, you know, it would be weird to have an aged spirit, you know, I could actually see spirits presenting themselves to somebody in a way that is more comfortable to the person, or maybe how they remembered them, you know. Sorry, it got tight right there because this got really thick and I couldn't really do much about it. It looks horrible. This is the first time that's happened on this thing. But you know, movie-wise, it wouldn't make sense. In real life, it could make sense. But it just made me think of, you know, thinking about why the characters aren't there, that ghosts don't age. Yet I do know of someone who told me that during an experience they had, the person that they'd never met, not, you know, they didn't know about them until I think the next day when they brought it up to their parents. You know, they didn't know who that person was, and then to go on and say, well, they were aging backwards, they were getting younger. And that's a really interesting thing. I don't know exactly why the spirit would do that, you know, but especially since that person hadn't met this relative. But yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. And my middle child now wants to go as Beetlejuice for Halloween. I said that was fine. I'm going to do a little bit more parking. I'm still doing the parking. I'm going to have to get like another magnet for down here. I have my actual needle minder right there. And then I have two of my fridge magnets right here holding other parts together. I really like doing that because then parking, it's nice because then you're using up less strands. And if you watch this and you want to do like another stitch with me, or maybe just stitch along doing whatever you're doing, I'm going to do a live tomorrow. I'm not going to be on for very long, you know, probably going to keep it maybe 45 minutes, maybe. Let's see, find that U again since I needed that color. I would totally let that travel, but I don't think that's a good idea in this case. I don't want to have too much yarn. Oh my gosh. See, getting my crafts mixed up. I don't want to have too much thread traveling in the back. And I don't know if I really care for the... I mean, I could see why traveling is used, but I don't think I would use it that much. Not unless it was a really small piece and it didn't matter. And I'm also reading, I need to continue reading it, a book called The Lost Bookshop, and I'll have to put that information on the page as well. And it's about a girl, and it takes place in the 80s too. So this girl who has a gift of being able to read the like emotional imprints that other owners have left on books, you know, which is an interesting, it's kind of like a different kind of, what do you call it? Not telekinesis. It's like I forget what that's called. Anyway, that, you know what, I might just travel anyway. Being able to pick up an object and tell about a person who owned that object. I think I'll just travel. I don't care. Put it right here. And she comes upon, you know, after going through like a book, not a book haul, but where a friend of hers like, hey, I have these books. Would you like them? That's really dark. Did I get that mixed up? I hope not. I did. Well, it looks like someone's going to be doing a lot of ripping. I have this color and this color switched around, I think. That's fun. I'm going to do that off camera another time and then fix it and come back. So, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. So yeah, it's just the dark color and the light color. So like, you see how these are like the same color. I do not know why I did that. You know what, I'll just rip it right now on camera. I don't know why I did that. Where's my seam ripper? I'm gonna try not to get in the way of the camera here. I have no idea where that seam ripper went. This is gonna suck. Finding a bunch of my other tools, but not that. Keep wanting to say it's this, and that's not it either. I told you I moved everything. Anyway, here, I'm gonna try to undo this one. That's where I was trying to do the U, and it's this one. Okay, I think U is fine. Yeah, U is fine. Okay, so it's this one. Okay, I'm just gonna have to cut it. Just gonna have to cut it, because I don't know where my seam ripper is. See if I can do this. This is not the right kind of way to do it. I don't know why I did that. I really don't. Wasn't paying attention, I guess. Anyway, while I, fix this little mess, these scissors are not great. I can't find my really good ones. I moved those too. While I fix this, I watched, or actually, god dang it. Anyway, back to the book. So she is going through a bunch of books that a guy's like, hey, do you want these books for your bookshop? She's very particular when it comes to the books that she sells to other people. She doesn't really like any that have like really strong negative feelings attached to them, or just ones with strong feelings that, if anybody else can experience what she's experiencing, so they don't pick up on the same thing. She wants it to be a good experience for them, which is fair. Well, while she's going through these books, like almost just before she picks up a particular book, she gets this really strong feeling with a book that has a very particular type cover. You can tell it's been crafted with, I won't say love or anything, not really, but it's been crafted. Well, there's no name of the author, the book, say that. And, there's no publishing date. There's no information about, what company might be representing that book. And, so she's like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe it's worth money. Or, maybe we should find out who published it. She gets really curious. And so she decides to take it and she starts reading it, even though she doesn't really like the feeling that she's getting from this book. And it's kind of like a bit of contempt, if you will. She's like, oh my gosh, this is too strong. I don't know. Well, she starts reading the book and comes to find out it's somewhat of a love story, somewhat. And then as she's reading it, she gets in contact with a friend and he's like, hey, by the way, there's another one. There's another book. She's sitting there thinking, oh, that's interesting. And it looks pretty much the same as the other book, which I find interesting also. So hopefully we'll find out why that is. And so that's about as far as I've gotten in the book, where she finds out that there's two books. And she does know that the other book is written by supposedly the other person of this story. So it's almost like the telling of a love story from either person's point of view, book format. So it's very interesting. I'm very curious to see where the story goes from here. Come on. This is going to be an interesting upload. There we go. Thank you. Very interested to see where it goes. Might just undo some of this a little bit, pause the video, and finish up, so we actually make some progress for the day, other than doing this and messing up. I just was not, I don't know why I thought this was the correct color. Trying very hard not to do that, but it happens every once in a while. I don't like doing this with my needle. I actually worry that it's gonna break. Anyway, I'm gonna pause and then see if I can get this worked out and then come back, do what I can. An interesting first video coming back. Okay, I'm back. It didn't take too long. I can't believe I did that either. I'll just make this as like part of the video for today, because I know since my phone has limited storage, I can't go past a certain amount of time without it having issues when I gotta upload. I do plan on changing phones. I got a thing of thread over here. But yeah, other than that, I've been doing okay since the time that we've been not uploading. I have got my hair cut, which you can see in some of the other videos. I had to cut it short because I now have hearing aids. I am blind in one eye, deaf in one ear, and I was shocked that I ever would get hearing aids because, growing up, I mean, hearing aids were a thing, but the type I'm wearing, I don't think they had until I was a late teenager, and even then, I just never got them. So I have cross hearing aids. So what that does is, since I'm deaf in one ear, it takes sound that would be going through for lack of a better way to describe that, and transfers it to the good ear. And also I found out I'm losing just a little bit of hearing in my good ear. It's not significant or anything, but so, you know, the hearing aid that I use for the cross one also helps with hearing better in my already, you know, my still good ear. And so when I got the haircut, it was so that I don't have to play with my hair as much to get it out of the way of the hearing aids, because it sounds staticky to me and I don't like it. See, that's better. I don't know why I changed colors. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if this is the correct color for this. The problem I've come across with Bucilla, and I guess I'm not the only one from what I've read on Reddit or any other place where there's like group chats or forums, is that they have not only like a lot of colors, but they aren't separated in a way to where you know which one's which, because there's so many colors that look so darn similar until you get them together. Like, yeah, for instance, here, so this is you. I'm assuming this is the one with the plus sign. And when I do try to look up, you know, thread colors with that number or what, I get several pictures back with Google, and it's frustrating because they have different numbers or they look really similar and you don't know in different names, and so you get confused. And that's why I had to use a converter chart thing that has, you know, the Bucilla colors and DMC, because it's the best way I could go through. But the problem was, you know, even then I get confused as to which color is which. And so I do have to use the picture the kit came with. Sometimes though it doesn't quite help. So that's my only problem, is that I kind of wish that I don't know if they're still in business. I'm not sure, but that was the only problem. Well, no, they are. Never mind. I don't know why I said that. They are. They have their kits on Amazon. So is it just 2 or 3? And so I know that they're a well-liked company, but that's the problem I've come across, is with the colors. I'm glad it's only like 39 colors for this kit. If it was any more, I don't know. I should have done the ending. I probably would get a little too frustrated with even attempting to finish the kit, because it would probably take me too long. So I do like their pictures. They have some really nice kits. I just may not go through them very often, given how confusing the colors get. There, we have that fixed. I don't have enough to transfer over. So I'm going to do a little bit more right here in the line up here, and then I'll have to end it for the day. That's about as far as I can get since I made a mistake. Otherwise, I probably would have had more of this baseball bat. On the pattern, it says the blue stocking bat, and I don't know enough about baseball to know the differences between different types of bats and if one's preferred over the other for whatnot. I don't know. I'm not a baseball person. I've gone to baseball games, but you know, I'm not like a huge baseball person to understand small things. To me, they're small things. I don't. They might be bigger things to other people. If you know the answers to why bats have different names, like like I said, this one's called the blue stocking bat. There's another one that's going to be over here called the Rawlings Big Stick. And I'm just wondering, why do they have different names? You know, because I don't know why. I really don't. Okay, we got that one moved over. So, see, so we got here, so it's blank plus L. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to use a little bit more down here. But yeah, if there's like interesting tidbits that you think would be interesting to know about baseball, the bats in particular, you can let me know. Like, I know we're going to have a glove on here. It's going to be over here. You know, like, is there difference with glove types, I guess? You know, do they have a specific purpose? If they're shaped differently or made by a different manufacturer, is it the quality? You know, stuff like that. It's stuff like that I don't know. Other than that, I can generally understand, you know, strikes and home runs and foul balls. Though that stuff I can understand, but the rest of it I find a little confusing, you know, because it's all the minor stuff. I'm just going to go all the way over. So blank plus LL. Okay, cool. Should have gotten one over. That's okay. Mistakes are part of being human. But yeah, I plan on giving this to my brother when I'm finished with it. I'm hoping he'll like it, because he does like baseball, probably more than me. I gotta cover this fuzzy that's over here. Trying to do them the same. Sometimes I forget which direction I was going, because I know when I go down, I go from a certain corner to another certain corner, and going up, I go from another corner, and, you know, same way with different, you know, going from left to right. Looks like I get to park this one too. So I'm trying to go by square. I'm doing it slightly different you know, the royal columns. I'm doing them slightly different than I think they're meant to be done. Okay, all right, so I did, you know, I guess a fair amount of work today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, tell me anything about your Labor Day weekend. If you've seen Beetlejuice and what did you think of it? And also if you know anything about the small things about baseball, like baseball bats, gloves, even ball types. Are there different ball types? Because I wouldn't know. So you can tell me any of that in the comments. And I hope everybody has a great week. I hope to be posting for Twitch tomorrow. If you can, just go to my Facebook page. I'll probably post the link or reminder, you know, up on there. I'll probably put it here too on the community part of the channel. And stay mindful of yourself and stay hydrated. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.